In 1917, as the Ottoman Empire crumbled in World War I, Britain made a promise, but not to the people living in Palestine. The Balfour Declaration, a single sentence buried in a letter, pledged support for a Jewish homeland in Palestine. But to the Palestinians, it felt like a promise made over their heads, about their land, without their consent. Palestine was home to mostly Arabs, farmers, shepherds, merchants, people with deep roots in the land stretching back centuries. Their lives, their homes, their identities were tied to every hill and olive tree. But this land, so long their home, was about to be transformed by forces beyond their control, imperial ambitions, migrations, and politics that ignored their existence. Jewish immigration to Palestine increased throughout the 1920s and 1930s, fueled by persecution in Europe and the Zionist movement's determination to build a homeland. For Palestinians, this immigration meant loss of land, livelihood, and an uncertain future as their presence in their homeland was increasingly challenged. Palestinians resisted, through protests, revolts, and political movements, asserting their right to self-determination in a land they called home for generations. The British, caught between conflicting promises and growing unrest, struggled to maintain control, often suppressing Palestinian uprisings while facilitating Jewish immigration. By the late 1930s, Palestinians launched a full-scale revolt, demanding independence, land rights, and an end to British rule. The uprising was fierce, and the response even fiercer. Britain crushed the revolt with brutal force, mass arrests, public executions, and village burnings. By 1939, thousands of Palestinians were dead or imprisoned. Their leadership was exiled. Their resistance broken. Then came World War II, and the Holocaust. 6 million Jews were murdered across Europe. The world was horrified, and Jewish survivors, shattered and stateless, looked to Palestine for refuge. In 1947, the United Nations voted to partition Palestine into 2 states, one Jewish, one Arab. But for Palestinians, it felt like the final betrayal. In 1948, Zionist militias declared the State of Israel. War broke out. Arab armies entered, and were defeated. In the chaos, over 750,000 Palestinians were expelled or fled their homes. Villages were emptied, burned, erased. Palestinians call it the Nakba, the catastrophe. Those who fled in 1948 believed they would return in weeks. They never did. Refugee camps sprang up in Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Gaza, and the West Bank. Tent cities turned to concrete slums. A generation was born in exile, stateless, waiting, remembering. In 1967, Israel launched a preemptive strike against neighboring Arab states. In just 6 days, it captured Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, the Sinai, and the Golan Heights. For Palestinians, it meant military occupation, one that continues to this day. Palestinians rose up, first in 1987, then again in 2000. These uprisings, called intifadas, were born of frustration, despair, and decades of military occupation. Stones were thrown at tanks. Children became symbols. The world watched, but little changed. In the 1990s, peace seemed possible. The Oslo Accords offered hope, 2 states side by side. Leaders shook hands. Flags were raised. But settlements grew, violence returned, and trust collapsed. What was promised as peace became just another broken dream. In Gaza, hope turned to siege. After Hamas won elections in 2006, Israel and Egypt imposed a blockade. Wars followed, in 2008, 2012, 2014, and beyond. Airstrikes and rockets. Rubble and funerals. Gaza became a cage, and its people, prisoners of politics. Today, Gaza lies in ruins. Generations have grown up under siege, knowing only war, checkpoints, and funerals. Yet they endure, drawing, singing, planting trees in the rubble. Palestine remains, not just as a place, but as memory, as longing, as a people without a place.